Welcome to lesson 2, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to look at subdividing the beat. And not just in half, but in threes too. We're going to divide the beat in half. We're going to divide it in 3. And then we're going to look at what is a time signature and a meter. All right? So, I'll have my metronome. In this lesson, I'm also going to be using the paper and pen. So if you would like to do that with me, I think that would be a great idea. You don't have to, but I recommend it, all right? Because when you write something and you see it, it can help make more sense out of things, right? So if you are a visual learner, as they call it, or even a kinesthetic learner, it might help to just physically do this with me, but you don't have to, or you could do it later. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to define a couple terms. So we have steady beat, right? And that is, steady beat is, you know, what, like I mentioned in the first lesson, it's what we would just call the pulse. And I think the best way, or the way I like to think about this is where your feet would go if you were moving to the music, right? If you were walking to the music, your feet are going to land most of the time on the steady beat or the pulse. Now in between that, right, so if we move like this, I'm going down, 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 down. That's a downbeat. We call that a downbeat, right? But we also have upbeats. Down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And it's literally in this image I'm showing you, I'm moving my hand down and up. It's literally up, right? So it's easy to understand. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So what you can do to tune into this a little more and feel it is you could step, step, step to the downbeat and move your hand up and down, maybe even pat your leg. I'm going to keep my hand sort of in the air because it's easier for you to see. But we can move down, up, and then you can even put your other hand over so you get an impact on the up. All right? Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm aligning with the metronome phrasing. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, once you're comfortable with this, and we're not changing our hand movements, right? This is a drumming action, you guys, right? The drumming action. Moving the arm down from the elbow and using a little wrist. Now you can try to express that on an instrument or in a different way. So phase 2 might be tap your feet and snap on the upbeats. Down, up, up. Or clap, down, up, up. And the way we talk about this with relation to the beat is we number the beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we call the upbeat and, right? We call it usually 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, now let's have some fun. What we're going to do is I want to show you guys my pen and paper down here. So if you want to do this with me, now's the time. What I'm going to do to illustrate or notate the concept that we just went over is first I'm going to draw a line because I need a place to put things. So I'm just going to draw this line. I should look at the paper and not at the screen. I like my little wavy line though. And I'm going to just put some dots in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. It's a flexible line. All right, so this is, if I just kind of mark this off, right? This little segment here, this is what we could call a measure, right? Or a bar. So measure and bar, kind of the same thing. You think of it, it looks like a bar, right? or it looks like something that you would measure something with. So we call it a measure or a bar. And then these dots are note heads, right? They're notes, or they're beats, they're events, all right? We've got 4 of them. So there you go. There's 4 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could just number those. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And where do the ands go? They go in between. Right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and I'll put a little bit smaller note just because. All right? Now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now it's missing one thing, but I think you can see this is just basic rhythm notation. I'm just putting, now I have 8 dots. I've got 4 downbeats and 4 upbeats. But what I am missing is I'm missing stems and flags. All right, so we're going to add stems and flags. But before we do that, let's look at some basic note values, because this will come into play later. We've got note values. This will make sense in a minute, but I'm going to start with this. A whole note is a circle, like an egg, that's not filled in. It's like an empty, it looks like an egg, right? A half note is an egg with a stem. This is our stem. It's a line, vertical line on the right side connecting to the note head on the bottom and extending up. And then a quarter note is a note head filled in with a stem, right? So whole, half, quarter. And now we have an eighth note, which is we start with a quarter note and then we put a little flag on it. So it gets a stem and a flag, and that's an eighth note. And then 16th note, and I'm going to stop after this one. 16th note is like an eighth note, but then it gets another flag. And every time it gets another flag, it chops it in half. So 32nd, 64th, but we don't usually use those. But these are how we notate time, the value of a note. In other words, the duration of a note. So a whole note takes up the whole bar and the whole measure, all right? A half note takes up how much of the bar and the measure? Takes up half. So if there's 4 main beats, right? The half note gets 2 of them. That's half. Quarter note, each note takes up a quarter of the bar or the measure, right? Simple. Eighth note, 2 eighth notes equals 1 half note. So there would be 8 eighth notes in one bar or one measure. And then 16th note, guess how many of those are in a bar or a measure? 16? I think so. All right, so we said that there's 8 eighth notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the stems to my notes. Now I've got 8 here. 8 notes, but these get, like I mentioned, these are eighth notes, so they get a flag. But watch this, you guys. I know this is a lot of information. It'll make sense later, but just trust me. So what I could do, I could do this. I could have 2 eighth notes, and I could give each of them a little flag of their own. All right. But then it gets to be a lot of flags, and we don't have that many flags in our storage, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to combine. We're going to make them share, all right? So if it's in the same beat, you don't get your own flag because now you have a buddy. You have your downbeat and your upbeat, and you guys got to share. So instead of a flag for each, we give them what we call a beam across the top. All right, so it kind of makes the same thing. It's very similar. It sort of says, yeah, these are 2 eighth notes and they are a pair. And guess what? We can tell right away that the first one is on the beat because the second one, because the flag's going, or the beam is going to the right, And so this tells me that this one is the upbeat, and this one is the downbeat. All right, upbeats, and downbeats. So now we have every note accounted for in our bar or measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so let's do this again. Can I use this side? I think so. All right, we're going to do that again, you guys. We're going to make a measure. We're going to draw a line. We're going to put 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are quarter notes, so they get stems. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't have to leave all these quarter notes. I can make one of these or two of these into a pair of eighth notes. How do I do that? I'm going to add an upbeat note on the and of 3 and put my bar across, and now I've got and. So now this rhythm sounds like 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Okay? You guys with me? It's not that bad, right? In the next video, we're going to look at how to write the meter down, or the time signature, but we're not going to do that in this video. The one thing I do want to do, though, is I want to say that you can take a beat, all right? You can take a beat, like this beat, and that note, I can divide that into 2, right, like we just did, which is a downbeat and an upbeat. I can also divide that note, this quarter note, into 3 for the same space. So that would look like this, and I'm going to make it into 3 eighth notes. But hey, wait a minute, Kalani, didn't you say 2 eighth notes equals a quarter note? How are you going to squeeze another eighth note in there? I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a 3 above it. And now that tells me that we're going to smash 3 notes into the same space as 2. So what does that sound like? I'm going to slow our metronome down a little bit to 80. And we're going to look at the eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and now we're going to do this one, which is called a triplet. So we're going to divide it into 3. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita, 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita, bop beep beep, bop beep beep. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Right? 2 3 4. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Let's go back to the eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. So triplets. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Back to eighth. 1 and 2, 3. Could you guys do that? Let's switch. You got it? Let's do one more. All right. Wow. Okay, so that's kind of a lot. That's a lot of information. So we're going to wrap this up, but let's review. So what are we doing in this lesson? We're looking at the way we can take a pulse, and then we can get downbeats and we can get upbeats. So we're experiencing first the main pulse as down, as our main beats, and we're numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just putting things in between there, in between the numbers, and we're starting off with 1 and 2 and downbeats and upbeats, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and then we crammed another one in there to get 3, because why not? That's kind of fun. And we divided that same beat space between 1 and 2 equally among those 3 notes. And we're calling that a triplet. So when we divide a beat into 3, it's a triplet, as long as it starts off dividing in 2. We'll get to that later. Don't worry about that. Right now, we're just dividing it in 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, dot, dee, dee, dot, dee, dee, dot, dee, dee, dot, dee, dee, dot, dee, dee. And then we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this is divided beat, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have a triplet. 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita, 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita, 4 tita. When I learned drumming, my teacher, we learned to say 1 and, 1 and 2 and then when we get to triplets, we used tita. So 1 tita, 2 tita, 3 tita. You can use that if you want, you guys. It doesn't matter, all right? There's so many different what we call vocables or vocal systems. We'll get into some a little bit later on. There's pros and cons. Some of them are super old, and some of them are more recent. Some of them are used mainly in music education. Some of them are just used in like general publications. Like we're going to learn those. We're going to learn the most common ones that are most widely used in like professional drumming books, publications. That's what I'm going to use in this series, but I'm not saying any of them are better than any others. I think you got to pick what works for you. There's lots of systems out there. Take your pick, all right? It's not important. It's not critical. What's critical is that you get the concept and you can use it for yourself, right, and communicate with people. So in this lesson, we did a lot of things. We looked at beat, downbeat, upbeat, divided beat. We learned to count. We notated some things. We looked at note values, whole, half, quarter, eighth, 16. We're not going to use all those moving forward. We're just going to use a couple of them, maybe 3. And then we looked at triplets. We defined a measure or a bar, and we're on the verge of understanding time signature and meter when we talk about things like 4/4, 3/4, 6/8, 12/8. We're going to do that in the next lesson, and we're going to map it out, and you'll see. And we're going to mix and match some note values and get some rhythms and some different rhythm patterns going, all right? In the meantime, what I want you guys to do is now go look at some basic drum notation, all right? Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. You can do this. What I need you to do is, now that you have a little bit of understanding of what the notes look like and how they're placed in the bar, I want you to just go look at some basic rhythm, in a book or online. There's tons of stuff available everywhere, including World Drum Club, especially on our Patreon side. And I will leave an attachment to this video on the Patreon side. So if you want to get that, join us over there, patreon.com/Kalani. The link's below. And I just want you to start recognizing these elements. Now, you may not recognize everything you see in a notation example. That's okay. I just want you to look for quarter notes, eighth notes, like a bar, look for the lines, and then you might also see other things in there, like little squigglies. Those are probably rests. Don't worry about them. Just look for eighth notes and quarter notes, maybe a half note, and you'll say, oh yeah, I know, Kalani, I learned that. All right? And when you do that, you can just look at it just to see. Just go see them. Go find them. And you will find these. And then you can start to imagine, how they work and fit together. And I think you can take it from here and teach yourself a little more, all right? So I'm not going to spoon feed you everything. I don't want to do that, because you are going to be your best teacher, because you know how you learn and you know at the best pace. And I want you to do it because you can do it. So do that before you get back to the next lesson, or before you go on to the next lesson. And when you're ready, I'll see you in lesson 3. All right? Have fun.